Are you tired of failing? Well, if so, you might change your mind after this video and start actually enjoying it for a change. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Joburg, probably just saw me leaving Botswana, and most importantly, you've been seeing me talk about success, what it is, and how to get it in the 3 areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And if you're new to the channel, then the definition of success by Earl Nightingale is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And guess what? Being successful is one of the most worthy ideas that you can actually think of. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today in this video. And so you may be like, Jason, why is your screen black, man? Cut the lights on. So it's actually load shedding here in South Africa. And if you're not familiar with load shedding is, that's when they actually cut the electricity off in certain areas for several hours at a time. Tonight we have it for 4 hours. And so I was like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna let this hold me back. I'm not gonna let it let me down. I'm gonna still shoot my video and I'm gonna give you what I promised, which is an uploaded video each and every day. So here we go. And so let's go ahead and dig into it. And so talking about failing. Now, most of us, when we hear the word failure or failing, we think of it as a negative term. However, it is a success. It is a process to becoming successful. The only way you can become successful at something is first failing at it. And you must fail until you actually complete the thing that you want. And just think about this from anybody who, whether it's a professional athlete, a Nobel Prize winning person, some scientist, everything in this life, it started with failures. Look at Thomas Edison. He trying to invent the light bulb. What he failed over, what was they said he failed over 1,000 times or something. It could have been even more than that. But like, if he would have stopped at 534, would we be using would we be using light bulbs in today's age? Incandescent. Man, I can't figure out how to say that word right now. Incandescent. I think it's incandescent light bulbs is the name of it. I don't know why that word is slipping from me, but like, if he would have stopped at failure 534, would we be using light bulbs in today's era? You know, we have to really start seeing that. Would we have that Michael Jordan if he would have stopped as a kid or in college when he felt like he couldn't do it? Would we have had a Kobe Bryant, a Tiger Woods? All of these people. Even think about it from the actors. Would there have been Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford if he didn't continue going at it at 40 years old? Or someone like Samuel L. Jackson who didn't get his break till he was in his 40s also. Like, those are people who are showing us time and time again that failure is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And this can work in relationships. It can work in your health, every part of your life. And so, like, for me personally, I failed for many, many, many years of trying to diet, figured out how to eat healthy, and just figure out the eating health lifestyle that worked for me. And then it took me, I would say it took me about 12 years before I figured out plant-based living. And now that I do a plant-based lifestyle, I love it. Like, I'm so excited. I feel great. I look amazing. Like, none of that would have happened if I would have just stopped after keto or Atkins or the Mediterranean diet. And I was just like, oh, I tried everything. And that's the thing where most of us actually go wrong. Because we've been taught in school failing is a bad thing, we actually feel like we've done everything that we could possibly do, instead of asking our questions or or reevaluating the problem from a different perspective and seeing like, what more can I do? What else can I try? Or going and getting someone else's opinion. And these are some of the things that are really holding us back, guys. And like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, it happens in everything. It happens in relationships. Like, everybody make mistakes in every part of life. Like, perfection doesn't come overnight. And even this is something I'm guilty of when it comes to people. Like, sometimes I expect a certain way from people to act a certain way, show up a certain way. And like, that just shows you, like, even Jason fails when it comes to analyzing people sometime, or building relationships with people, because it's like we've all been programmed to think that we all have the same life. We have the same opportunities. We have the same upbringing or culture. And the truth is, every single person on this planet has a very different perspective of life. You'll be shocked how many people have been, some things you learn through your culture or the region you live in, and some things you just don't know. Like, and I was here in Botswana just recently, and I went and bought some. It was a dish with greens, and I asked her what kind of greens they were, and she said I think call it rape, RAPE, and she just said it nonchalant. But in my head, I'm like, tobacco. So what it is, and if you're in Colombia or South America, RAPE is actually a tobacco leaf that grows in the Amazon forest, and they use it for like spiritual ceremonies. And so I was explaining to her, I'm like, okay, so is this what it is? And she was like, no, 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 it's like this. And then turned out it's like a spinach or a kale, and that's what they call it. But really think about that. Like, I'm showing you something that's very, very lighthearted. But like, we both had a failure of communication right there. Like, she told me what something was, and I knew what it was from my perspective, but we wasn't talking about the same thing. And those little bits of failures of communication happen all the time. Like, it happens so many times, and that's one of the things that are breaking us back, because we feel like failure will, most of the time, will, instead of keep going to try to get the understanding of each other to where we both understand each other, most of us actually stop. And this is how we approach most problems when it comes to business, our personal life, and in our health. As soon as that conflict comes there, instead of continuing to try to reach an understanding to where there's a clear picture on both ends, we actually just been programmed or taught through modern education to stop. Like, we have to start realizing, once we start hitting these failure points, these are the areas where we are starting to progressively move to success. And so when you hit a failure point, whether it's in your professional life, personal life, or your health, what you want to start doing is reevaluating the situation. Take a break. Look at it from a different angle. When you're looking at it from a different mindset, like while you're in the middle of it, in the midst of it, and looking at it, you're not going to be able to see clearly. However, if you take like a 5 to 15 minute break, do some breathing, drink some water or something, just even if it's pacing back and forth, just to move around, and then you re-look at that situation, no matter what it is, you're going to see a little bit broader than what you was able to see while you were in the failure state. And this is how, when you start approaching things this way, just seeing something just a little bit broader is going to give you such a different perspective. And you're going to start seeing so much clearer the objective. And then you'll start doing just like Thomas Edison. You will create everything that you want, whether it's you want to create a multi-million-dollar company or a business for yourself. If you want to create that healthy body you've been trying to get for all these years, or if you want to even create a healthy relationship. All those things are possible as you start realizing, when you hit these failure points, you're getting a step closer to success. So I really encourage you to start enjoying when you're failing, instead of looking at it as from the perspective of, dang, I messed up. Oh, from the negative viewpoint. Just look at it from a higher vibration of enjoyment. And so that's it for today. I know this is a very weird video with you just listening to a black screen talking to you. But just remember, guys, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.